What's up, my friend? Today's a bit of a different video. A lot of you end up suggesting me to cover what is going on right now in Texas. And from what I understand is a very tragic situation, a lot of floods, even though I don't know the details that well. But I guess I will find out more in a second. Let me say a couple of words, even though I'm not the best when it comes to this. But very simple. I love America. Texas is one of my favorite states, as you guys are aware. I'm coming to Texas this year, and I will be praying to all of you. This is a very difficult moment. Words are always very relative, of course, but I'm praying to all of you, my friends. I also will not do my normal introduction. Of course, if you want to leave a like, I would appreciate it. But let's play it.
The authorities in the US state of Texas say at least 27 people, including 9 children, have died after torrential rain led to flash flooding. The Guadalupe River rose
27 people and 9 are children. And I wonder how many are missing.
meters in just 45 minutes, sweeping through campsites busy for the 4th of July holiday. More than 20 children are missing from the all-girls.
What? 20 children? Oh, okay. Wow.
It's busy for the 4th of July holiday. More than 20 children are missing from the all-girl Camp Mystic summer camp, and the Vice President J.D. Vance has described the situation as an incomprehensible tragedy.
It's a tragedy.
Well, in the last hour, the authorities gave an update on the current rescue and recovery efforts.
They are going to be in very debris terrain, very difficult, challenging contours along the riverbanks. So it is a very harsh environment. We are doing what's called a primary search, which is basically a very quick search, but when I say quick, that is up, down, sideways. They're turning over as many rocks as they can, culverts up in trees. They are looking at every possible location, and then we'll start going into a layered approach.
Sorry, 20 girls missing from summer camp. Okay, my friends, the thing is, if we try to be honest here, probably that toll will increase over time. At least tends to happen in this type of situations. It's very difficult for me to see this type of news since in this case I really love Texas, my friends. It's the state I want to visit the most, and I hope you guys don't take what I'm about to say in a wrong way, but every life is important, no doubt, but when we talk about children, my friends, I think to me touches me quite more, you know. I'm also a father, and you know, I would prefer die 10 times and suffer 10 times that something happened to my children. So I can only imagine how those parents are feeling.
At every possible
sorry for that, but is what I believe, my friends.
They can, culverts up in trees. They are looking at every possible location, and then we'll start going into a layered approach.
I'm thankful you're here. Today will be a hard day. Please pray for our community.
Oh, with the latest on the emergency response, Nick Johnson reports.
Sorry, my friends, but is this... I know this is not normal, but floods tend to happen in Texas in July. This to me seems wild, you know. I remember when I was planning my trip to America, I even thought about going to Texas in July or August. And a lot of you guys told me that was crazy because the summer is so hot. And now I'm seeing flood. So this, you know, is a bit surprising to me. Probably this is a specific event that ended up happening there. But if someone has some information on this, feel free to share with me, my friend.
Response, Nick Johnson reports.
Swathes of central Texas remain underwater following flash floods which have devastated lives and upended homes.
Wow.
It's like this for miles and miles.
750 girls were attending this riverside holiday camp near the town of Kerrville.
This used to be a campground. These are all campsites.
At least 20 of them are missing after floodwater swept away much of the campsite. Families await news as authorities stress The lack of contact may be because the children are out of communication rather than lost.
Okay.
We will rescue those.
You know what? That's actually a great point. So maybe maybe most of them are fine. It's just there is no connection, right?
Children are out of communication rather than lost.
We will rescue those in peril, and we will find those who are missing. But I'd also ask, please pray for our community.
Torrential rain caused the
My friends, I don't know if you guys believe in God or not, but if you do, I mean, pray for those kids. Not only for the kids, but for everyone that is suffering right now in Texas.
Please pray for our community.
torrential rain caused the Guadalupe River to burst its banks after rising 26 feet, about the height of a two-story house, in under an hour. Floodwater cascades into homes. Roads, vehicles, holiday cabins and houses are washed away.
I'm homeless. It floated down the river maybe 80 yards, and these two trees that just lodged in between two trees. So it's not going anywhere anymore.
Speaking on board Air Force One, President Trump indicated he'd direct federal aid to the relief efforts.
Oh yeah, sure. We'll take care of it. We're working with the governor. It's a terrible thing.
Boats, drones and helicopters are being used to find survivors.
Still waiting on water rescue, if anyone has any boats or jet skis.
Some remain stranded. The only safe spot for this family, on the roof of their house. The rescue effort is being made more difficult after roads were washed away. And in a part of Texas, which is hundreds of miles from the sea, the US Coast Guard is being deployed to help the search.
Okay.
The state of emergency has been declared in several counties.
Of course.
And the Texas governor wants people to pray for the missing. Nick Johnson.
Okay, my friends, I have another clip. This was brutal to watch. It's very difficult to even express what I feel when I watch this type of stuff. I guess you guys probably share this with me. I mean, it's just hoping for the best, but let's move on. My friends, this clip just got released by Fox News, so let's play it. Maybe there is some updated information.
That massive downpour yesterday lifted the Guadalupe River more than 25 feet in less than an hour.
Wow.
At least 27 people are dead, 9 of them children, and officials warn that number may well go up. First responders, drones, and helicopters are working around the clock with a desperate search underway for at least 23 girls missing from a Christian camp on the shores of the Guadalupe River.
Oh, it was a Christian camp. Okay.
Senior correspondent Mike Tobin is live in Kerrville, Texas, with the latest. Mike.
And John, this shelter where I'm standing in a park is now loaded with debris because all of this was underwater yesterday before the Guadalupe River receded back into its banks, or at least close to its banks. We've seen the helicopters patrolling the river. We now know from the city manager that they're putting boots on the ground, old school style. They've got people walking the length of the river looking for victims.
So it's crazy how nature can be so brutal sometimes, my friends. I'm going to assume this region is not very well prepared if rains a lot. So maybe this is one of the reasons the damage ended up being so severe. But it's still insane to see this, right? Because this was basically 1 hour and all of a sudden there is a lot of floods happening.
Hoping for survivors. They're aided by people with local knowledge of where debris gets hung up when the river floods. As you mentioned, the official number of deceased victims is...
Sorry, there was a big disaster in Europe, I believe last year, maybe 2 years ago already, I'm not sure, but it was in Spain, Valencia, and in 1 hour also ended up raining like crazy. And the damage was brutal, my friends. If you guys want to see that, just put floods Valencia, and it's impressive.
He gets hung up when the river floods. As you mentioned, the official number of deceased victims is now 27, and we anticipate that that will rise. The number of campers missing is 27, and that is that group of girls who had been attending the Camp Mystic all-girls Christian camp. They have lost contact with the outside world. We know that some deceased have been located. There really isn't much reason to be optimistic about those missing girls. However, Congressman Chip Roy tells me there have been miraculous stories of survival.
Okay, so there is. Oh, wow. So this is a bit different here, my friends. Because in the other clip, of course, the situation was tragic. But here, Fox News is saying that there is not a lot to be hopeful, right? So maybe the worst ended up happening to those girls.
Congressman Chip Roy tells me there have been miraculous stories of survival.
One of the little girls from our school, thankfully, praise the Lord, was found. She floated on a mattress for 3 hours yesterday morning, and we just got the text notice that she survived, and we've located her and that she's safe and sound. So we're hoping for stories like that, but obviously we're deeply concerned about the remaining little girls that we've not found.
Now, on Thursday, this area was bombarded with rain. On Friday, the Guadalupe River came up as much as 26 feet in 45 minutes.
See, that's crazy. That's impossible to. You cannot deal with that, you know. Actually, my friends, look, I have a lot of viewers from Texas. I know this was in a very specific region. But if you are watching from Texas, please leave me a comment saying that you are okay, because I have a lot of viewers from that state, and even if you are from a different region, I would appreciate you. You know, again, sorry. I mean, it's sad to see Texas this way.
This area is prone to flooding. They had a very similar, very deadly flood 38 years ago. Still, Judge Rob Kelly, who's a chief elected official in Kirk County, called this the most dangerous river valley in the U.S., and still, there was no early warning. We did talk to an individual who said there was an early warning, but it came in just minutes before the river swelled at this dramatic level. Now, the known number of missing is standing at 27. What we're hearing from officials, there is a large unknown number, because this is an area where people come in weekend, particularly on the holiday weekend. They camp down by the river, they stay at Airbnbs, and there really isn't a way to get a good idea of how many of those people are missing now. John?
So I believe in the other clip the number was 20. It is 27, and basically they are kind of preparing us for the worst. This is quite more brutal even than the other, you know.
Mike, how far above the river are you right now, would you estimate?
I'd say I'm about 15 feet above the river and about 15 feet below the highway, right in the middle. And all of this area was underwater. Some of the evidence you can tell by that is right next to the highway, there are fish that are in the lawn now.
Wow. It's my understanding that the camp sits kind of on a hill, which makes sense since the river is at the bottom of a valley. And the girls who were saved were up higher on, higher camping sites.
And there are a few camps where that happened, where the people got to the high ground. They ended up safe, but they were stranded because the roads in and out of these camps had been so badly damaged. So overnight, you had helicopters dropping them food and water. Hopefully, by the time daylight came through, we don't have an update on it yet. With some of the roads destroyed, they could get 4x4s or some other vehicles in there and rescue some of those people. There have been some 800 rescues so far, and we hope that they're in those numbers.
Yeah, we hope for more. We saw, you said that, there were warnings, but they came out very, very late. What kind of warnings are those? Do you know? Are they
That's a
sirens?
great question.
Are they, emergency broadcasts? What are they?
What we just got from someone who was local and who was in the area, and he actually got out only because he'd had an argument with his son and went home. And he came back to find all of his things destroyed. So he was lucky. But he said the warnings that he got came over his cell phone.
Wow.
Okay.
Mike Tobin, let's hope for a little bit of good news out of that terrible situation. Thank you, Mike.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here.
Okay, my friends. Thank you so much for watching this with me. Really means a lot. You guys end up staying until the end. I will try to stay up to date to this. I want to see how this ends, you know, because maybe there is some hope. Maybe a lot of those girls will appear. At least I hope for that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. It was a bit of a different video. It's a heavy one, to be fair. But yeah, stay safe, my friends. See you guys in the next one. Bye.